Hey everyone, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Happy to have you. Today I have another Sims 4 speed build for you. This time I built, I don't know what style it is. It's kind of like a bungalow, but I don't know if that's what you'd call it. Either way, this is a little 2-bedroom house that will be part of my save file when I release it. So this house, like I said, is 2 bedrooms. It has 2.5 bathrooms. I only show one of them on the speed build, but there is another half bathroom and another full bathroom that aren't shown on the speed build, but you can kind of see them in some of the screenshots. I really like the way this house turned out. It's kind of eclectic. In the save file, there will be a family living here. It will be Maria and her husband, Thomas. Maria is an artist and Thomas is a bartender. And then there is a third person living here named Victor, and that is Maria's brother. And sort of like the backstory about them is, Maria and Thomas are like this young up and coming couple. Maria's like finally getting some traction as an artist. Like I said, Tom's a bartender, and I'm kind of envisioning that Victor, he got like evicted from his apartment in San Myshuno, and his sister was like, okay, that's fine. If you have nowhere else to go, you can come stay, temporarily while you get back on your feet. But now both Victor and Thomas are bros, so I imagine that they kind of get along really well, and Thomas is totally fine that Victor's here, but Maria's kind of maybe annoyed that he hasn't gotten a real job and moved out onto his own at this point. So that's kind of the backstory of this family. Of course, if you download the save file when it's ready, you can do whatever you want with the Sims. You can make up your own backstory. You can move in different Sims in this house, but this build will be tailored kind of around those Sims. So you'll see that there's like a little artist studio. There's a bar thing. Yeah, I think it's just called a bar for Thomas to do his thing. Otherwise, it's not bright, but I used a lot of colors. I used a lot of artwork. I did download some non-CC gallery art for this build, so it won't flag your build as CC, and you don't have to worry about having it downloaded to your library. It will automatically show up in the build. And of course, this build will be up on the gallery. I have play tested it. It's functional. However, there are a couple things that you're not going to see in the speed build that you will see in the regular build, because I built this right before the new kit came out. The what is it called? No, it's called Decor to the Max. That's what it's called. I built this right before that kit came out. And there were a couple items in that kit that I really, really wanted to put into this build. So I did add them in after the speed build. It's nothing major. It's just a few pieces of decor. I think I changed out one of the paintings. I put in that wall gallery art from the pack. I swapped out a light. I added in that really cool arched standing light. But yeah, it's nothing major, but I did make a couple changes. And there is one family member I forgot to talk about, Angelita. That's their little cat. She's a valuable member of the family. She lives here too. So, of course, she has everything she needs. She has a food bowl, she has a litter box, she has a scratching pad, and she has a couple of beds where she can chill. So there is a cat. If you have cats and dogs, Angelita will be included in this household. She's very cute and sweet, and I think she's lazy. So she was just sleeping on the floor when I was play testing it. It was so cute. But anyway, I did play test this. It is functional. So when I say playtest it, I try to playtest all the major things. Like your sim can sit down on the couch, they can light the fireplace, they can cook food, they can sleep in the bed, they can take showers, use the toilets. I don't playtest every single possible interaction, but I try to do everything major. And every once in a while, there might be something I have in as non-functional, like I might put a bookshelf in an odd place that can't be reached, but I'll always have like another bookshelf in the build that your Sims can use. It's actually a whole bunch of bookshelves in this build that they can use. But yeah, and another thing, when I do play test it, sometimes I have to make slight changes just to make things functional. Like in the living room, I had to size down the coffee table because it was blocking the Sims from being able to light the fireplace. And of course, the fireplace is so nice. I wanted it, to actually be able to be used. So the coffee table is a little bit smaller. Again, I don't think most people would notice if I didn't tell you that. But yeah, so really, really small changes like that. Otherwise, with this build, I did a fair amount of decorating. I just wanted to kind of give it sort of like a funky feel. I didn't want to make it like so cluttered that you couldn't use the build, but I did add in, a fair amount of clutter. I also used the tool mod to rotate a wall decoration, and I used it as a table tray. I don't know. I really wanted a table tray, but there's not really table trays in this game, so you kind of have to make your own. And I don't know, I thought that was cute. I like the way it looked. I was pretty pleased with how it turned out. So you probably will see it in some other speed builds I do, because once I do something I like with the tool mod, I tend to repeat it. I'm not one of those super creative types that can make all sorts of crazy stuff out of debug options in the tool mod, but every once in a while I'll have an idea and I'll try to make my own furniture with the tool mod. I also try not to go too crazy, especially for the save file, because first of all, I want it to be playable, and I know that sometimes too much debug, like too many debug objects, can make the game like run horribly or make things not functional. So for a save file, this build is pretty cluttered, but I'm hoping that, for most people, that it shouldn't slow it down or lag it too much. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But yeah, it's a relatively open floor plan, not completely open, because again, I imagine this probably maybe used to be it's like an older home, and those homes tend to have more separation in their rooms than modern homes, which kind of are very often really open in just one big floor plan. So, the living room, the dining room are open. The kitchen's pretty open because of the big arch, but of course it is its own separate room. And then there are just some cute, kind of clutter spots, like this little area over here. I love that table that comes with, I think it comes with the movie Hangout pack or whatever it's called. I just think it's such a pretty table. It's something I use pretty often when I want to add in a bunch of color to my builds, because most of the swatches are really, really bright. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really happy with how this build turned out. So the save file is something that I started a really, really long time ago, probably well over a year ago. And I actually had most of Willow Creek done, but I recently bulldozed all but maybe 2 houses in the whole entire world. And I decided to rebuild them because I just feel like I've grown a lot as a builder. I feel like I've just gotten better. So I really wanted to kind of update my builds, and for the most part, that involved just bulldozing everything. And not to mention, we've had new packs come out, so I just wanted to kind of add to them. I didn't really change any families so far that I've originally created for the save file, but most of the houses I've rebuilt so far. Another thing for the save file, I will, for the first round, I've kind of mentioned this in my last voiceover, I probably will try to only do the base game worlds for version 1. So Willow Creek, Oasis Spring, and Newcrest. And then all the other worlds will just be the default places and the default homes and the default townies. But for my worlds, I do want to create all brand new families for your Sims. But I will try to make sure that everybody has skills, they have jobs, they have relationships. I will probably, maybe create some new clubs, some new holidays. I kind of want to just make this feel as alive as I possibly can, and give options for your Sims to have a lot of stuff to do in the worlds. I'm trying to add in, of course not every house can have every single activity and skill, but I'm trying to tailor each home to the skills and interests of the people that live there. So again, this has a lot of like easels and stuff like that, since there's an artist that lives here. And I'm trying to just diversify, so I don't want every single person to be an artist. Some people might be into like eco lifestyle, recycling, or reading, or cooking. So I'm trying my best. Again, I don't have a set deadline for when I want to have the save file released. I'm thinking I probably need at least a solid month to month and a half for each world at this point. So I'm hoping sometime this summer, version 1 will be released. I'm so sorry if you hear like a child's voice in the background. My cat's just sat on my daughter's toy and it started talking. So that's what that is if you hear it. Anyway, yeah, I'm hoping for sometime this summer, early summer ideally, but I don't want to put any guarantees. I really want to take my time, and I want to make this feel as live as possible. It's a lot of work to set up all the characters and to give them all personalities and skills and relationships, and yeah, it's a lot. So I don't want to rush it. I want it to be pretty solid when I release version 1. But yeah, this is the bedroom of Maria and Thomas. It's pretty cute. I really like the way it turned out. I wanted it to be, again, like colorful and fun, but it's a bedroom, so I didn't want it to have too much. I toned down the walls. I didn't have that bright green. I toned it down with like a light blue because, I imagine this is maybe slightly more relaxing than the bright like arsenic green in the main living area. And then the outside is the base game, that white like painted looking brick, and then just some yellow siding. I love the yellow siding. I just think it's adorable. So I wanted to use it. And then I believe that the windows are from the Snowy Escape Pack, and that beautiful door is from Discover University. I am obsessed with that door. It's one of those things, like, I feel like I could use that door in every single build and never get sick of it. I actually don't use it too much just because I don't want to overuse it, and everyone's like, stop, use a different door, lady. But I do really like it. I do think it's quite pretty. This is Maria's artist studio I was talking about earlier. So, there's a lot of paintings, a couple easels, and then just more art decoration for her to have. And then outdoor is where I will put the bar for Thomas to practice his skills, because again, he's in the culinary career on the bartender track. So I wanted to make sure he could actually get his skill up, so he could get promoted at home and didn't have to go to a community lot or something. Another thing for the save file that I'm doing, and you might have seen some of it just bits and pieces as the camera scrolls around, is I am using the tool mod to add in decoration like outside of the lot. So kind of right behind this bathroom, you can see 2 benches and a trash can. Those are not on this lot, they're not in the next lot, they're actually in between. I think technically I put them on this lot, so this lot like pays for them. It's part of their house, but there's no other way for me to do it. But I did use only base game items, so hopefully, if you don't have all the packs, those still should show up. I haven't play tested it to see if your Sims can actually sit on the benches, but even if they can't, I just think it looks so pretty. I think it makes the world feel extra alive. So I have added some benches, some picnic benches. I added a rug out lived near like the river area. I kind of thought it looked like a picnic, little picnic area. I really wanted to put like the picnic basket down, but that's from Cottage Living, so I didn't do that because, like I said, I want everything to be base game. I added in that base game bike. I added in a couple tables, some trash cans, just stuff like that. I don't know. I thought it looked cute, gave a little extra to the neighborhood to add that stuff in. And this is the one bathroom I do show, so it's pretty bright, it's pretty colorful. I use that tile from the Oasis like Moroccan inspired kit, which I just love that tile. I think it's so pretty. And then we have the entryway. This is nothing super special. I kind of feel like I have like a very like prescribed, like almost like a formula for entryways, you know, a table with some clutter, a mirror, maybe a bookshelf, maybe a chess table. So nothing super fancy, but you know, I think it's cute. I tried to add in just a cute amount of clutter that I imagine this family would have collected. And the last bedroom that we have here is Victor's bedroom. I imagine that maybe this used to be an office / storage for Maria's artwork. So I did add a couple of paint cans, an easel, there's a computer, and then of course there's like a bed so he can actually live in here. And then I added just a couple things that I thought kind of like fit him. Again, he's kind of like a slob and he's kind of lazy. I imagine that they maybe didn't have a real wardrobe, so they just bought one of those like cheap, like open standing racks. I gave him a couple video games because he does like video games, a big TV, the stereo, and then I added in some like clothes on the floor because again, I think he might be a slob. And then the backyard, pretty simple. I added in just a little fire pit. Kind of imagine maybe this is where Thomas and Victor like to hang out and just chit chat, you know, drink a couple of beers. And then I will also add in just a little dining area, and I put a hot tub in it as well. Because again, I imagine these people to be kind of young and fun, and they probably like to have fun hot tub nights. But yeah, that's about all I have to say for the speed build so far. Of course, if you have any suggestions as to what you'd like to possibly see in the save file, families, stories, drama, builds, community lots, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear, you know, what you guys would like to see included. And of course, I will leave my socials in the link below, or the link in the description box below. So if you want to follow me on other platforms, I would love to have you. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to leave a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. And if you want to see more Sims 4 builds, go ahead and leave me a subscribe. I upload new videos at least once a week. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the speed build. Bye.